Hi guys, welcome to part 2 on the video on how to solve trigonometric equations. So in the first part we considered the sine function, and now in the second part we will consider the cosine function. It's going to be more or less the same technique, same idea, so let's just dive right into it. So we have the equation cosinus of x equals 1/2. Now just to remind you guys, and you can always watch the first part of the video to learn it, we always read the sine value on the y-axis, which then logically and naturally implies that we read the cosine value on the x-axis, meaning that if I have the cosine of x equals 1/2, that means that on the x-axis I have here 1/2. Now with sine function we had a parallel line to the x-axis. Here we have a parallel line with the y-axis, and similarly as before, we intersect the unit circle in 2 points, and through those 2 points we have 2 rays, this one and this one. These 2 rays determine our angles. So as I said, this is the 0 angle, and we always read counterclockwise because that is the positive direction, meaning that this will be our angle alpha 1, and all of this will be our angle alpha 2. And the biggest job here is to determine what are alpha 1 and alpha 2. So alpha 1 is in the first quadrant, and there are short videos on my YouTube channel and also on my TikTok how to easily remember the values of the trigonometric functions in the first quadrant. And if you check it out, you will learn that here this angle alpha 1 equals exactly 60 degrees or pi over 3. As I said before, always stick to either radians or degrees, never mix. Okay, so first quadrant, you have to remember the values in the first quadrant, and if you get in any other quadrant, we will just logically compute how much it is. So for example, now we have that alpha 2 is this big angle here. Notice that if I would continue a bit more, I would make a full circle. So I would make 360 degrees or 2 pi. But my angle is this one, so it's basically 2 pi minus this fraction here. But you will notice that this angle here and this angle here are basically the same, meaning that my alpha 2 is 2 pi minus that fraction, and that fraction is pi over 3, so here I get 5 pi over 3. And when you have your alpha 1 and alpha 2, then all of your solutions are determined as follows. So x1 will be pi over 3, so your alpha 1 plus 2 pi times k, and your x2 will be 5 pi over 3 plus 2 pi times k. Why do I have this plus 2 pi times k? Well, because sine and cosine are periodic functions with period 2 pi, so they have infinitely many zeros, infinitely many solutions to this equation here, and of course k is some integer. We can take either positive integers or negative integers depending if we are reading the angle counterclockwise, where we get a plus sign, or we read clockwise, then we get a minus sign. And that's it. These are your solutions of this equation, quick and easy. Let's do one also where the value is negative, just to see what happens then. So here we have minus square root of 2, meaning that your angle is somewhere over here, because we're reading on the x-axis, it's on the negative part, so it has to be somewhere here. And again, we intersect the unit circle in 2 points, this one and this one, and we get 1 ray here and 1 ray here. This one will determine our first angle, and this one will determine our second angle. And now the question is again, what are our angles? Now, when you look at this one, so let's consider alpha 1 first. Alpha 1 is this angle here. Notice that if I would extend a bit more, I would make 180 degrees or pi, meaning that alpha 1 is pi minus this fraction here. So we have pi minus some fraction. But how do we determine that fraction? Well, as I said before, we only know the values of the angles in the first quadrant. But notice that if I would extend this ray, this point and this point have the same have the same y value, meaning that this angle, and this angle are all the same. So if I have minus square root of 2 over 2 here, that means that here I have square root of 2 over 2. And you just look at the table, cosinus of what degree gives you square root of 2 over 2? It's easy to see that that's going to be pi over 4. So that's how much we have to subtract, meaning we get here 3 pi over 4. Now when we look at alpha 2, it's this angle. So basically it's pi plus this angle here. And we just notice that this part is pi over 4. So we get pi plus pi over 4. So we get 5 pi over 4. Meaning that all of our solutions, because of the period 2 pi of the cosine functions, are 3 pi over 4 plus 2 pi k, and x2 is 5 pi over 4 plus 2 pi times k, and k is some integer. There you have it. That's how you solve trigonometric equation with the cosine function. In the next video, I will show you how to solve with tangent and cotangent functions. Good luck with practice, and till next time. Bye.